Welcome back to another episode of All Meat, Hold the Anchovies.
So, David.
Yes.
I have a blood draw experience at the doctor that I want to talk about. Okay. But it's Christmas, so I have like the worst Christmas present I ever gave to talk to you about.
Okay.
And the first thing I want to start off with is, what in the world do I tell Santa to put in Connie's stocking? What is Santa putting in Terry's stocking?
Well, since I know she's not going to listen to this, hopefully, if it ever gets here, she is getting a new air fryer toaster oven. She wants a toaster oven.
Wait,
but it comes
not in
with
her
an air
stocking.
fryer. Yeah, that's probably going in her stocking too.
How's that going to fit in her stocking?
Get one of those big plastic red bags, cut it into a shoe. And her stocking, see, she doesn't want sugar candy because she's kind of kicked off sugar.
Yeah.
We're at that point where eating sugar is by choice, not by opportunity. Being really picky about sugar, as in there's a big tray of donuts. Try one. If you don't like it, I'm not eating the rest of it type thing. We're very
like
picky.
It.
Well, I mean, if it's not as, it's one of those reason things where it's like, do I really want to have to work out or do something to get rid of all these calories, all this sugar? So we're kind of picky about what sugar we eat. So, But last year she was counting her sugars, and I got her a bunch of sugar-free stuff. That didn't.
She hated it.
Well, she liked it too much, and it went right through her. I hate to say, I don't know any other better way to say it. So She said, we can back off of that now.
Wow.
So, but her levels are good, so she can have sugar. But her thing is white chocolate, stuff like that. We're not really, we don't put a lot of money in the stockings. It's more like knickknacks, little stuff.
Well, right. I mean, that's what I'm trying to think of is knickknacks. I mean, when I was a kid, Santa brought me oranges and batteries. And
I got an orange, an apple, and socks, and one other candy, probably like one candy bar. That's about what I got when I was growing up.
I did get her some socks. They're not in yet. So
that's always a plus for Terry. She loves fresh socks.
These socks, they look like a dinosaur has eaten your leg. So it like comes up, and then the top of the sock is the dinosaur mouth.
Nice. That's cool.
Or alligator, one of the two.
Terry's not worried about what it looks like, although she'd like that. All she cares is that it burns her feet to the point it's so warm that it's like putting on a heater. That's kind of socks she likes.
It's hard to find warm socks.
It is.
I mean, they say they're warm, but then they're not.
Oh, yeah, they're warm for about 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they're just regular socks.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm thinking I'll tell Santa socks, and she always likes almond M&Ms.
Ooh, yeah.
And I've always wondered. So like I was talking about getting Connie or asking Santa to get her some almond M&Ms, right? Mm-hmm. So I've always wondered, and I'm serious, I've always wondered this. Does Santa make the almond M&Ms or the almond peanut butter covered with a hard shell and stick them in an almond M&M bag by whoever makes almond M&Ms? Or does he have a relationship with the company like Tonka Toys or something like that, where he gets it from them? I mean, you have the elves, but they don't make like Etch-a-Sketches.
Sure they do.
They do, so they...
I think he's got a licensing contract with certain companies because since I'm glad you mentioned M&Ms first, because those are available now in all stores.
Yes.
So on something like that where you got to have a food handler's permit, I would imagine he doesn't want to worry about that.
Yeah.
So food items, except for apples and oranges, I mean, he could get those from anywhere. But stuff like M&Ms, I would think that he has an arrangement. And as the request comes in, the M&M Mars company will fill his arrangement. The
Gotcha.
toys, though, I bet the toys, especially Tonka. You mentioned Tonka a minute ago. I bet he's got a contract with them. As long as he meets the specifications that they already have in stock,
Oh, he can build them.
he can build and use the Tonka name. I mean,
Okay.
it would take all year. Well, maybe that's why he only does it once a year, because it would take all year to collect all those toys just to get them together. I think we just broke Christmas. We figured out why it's once a year.
It takes them that long to make it.
That's right.
So that's pretty cool. So some people have, so like when I was a little kid, some of my Tonka toys were made by Tonka. Some of them were made by Santa and had the Tonka name on them.
Right.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, you kind of. I remember getting toys not at Christmas, and they were toys, but it always seems like the toys you got on Christmas Day were just a little bit more special.
They were.
A little bit, you treated them a little bit better.
They had that elf touch.
There's a little pixie dust coming out, little sprinkles around. Yeah.
I want my toys with an elf touch. I want my Tonkas from the North Pole.
I sense a parody coming out. Okay.
No more parodies. So anyway, let me tell you about my blood draw. Unless you have any more stocking Santa stuff to talk about.
No, we've been financially busy the last couple months, and not necessarily on ourselves. So Christmas is going to be like, we don't want to spend a lot of extra money on Christmas here because we've invested in, I want to say, our family, so to speak. Yeah. But it's been great, and we're both on Christmas Day. Our thing is we cook, we eat, we do gifts, we play games, and then we order Chinese late at night and watch a movie.
Wait, you order Chinese on
it's Christmas a tradition. Night? It's the only place open, and they're a local family that open up on Christmas Day, so we want to support them. So we go and support them and get food. And plus, my sister and her family come over. So
Suzanne?
Yeah, it's like a tradition on Christmas night. And this Sunday's going to be different because we have church. So I'll be up there for 2 hours, and then they'll come up when it's time, and then it'll be a little bit different. But this Christmas, I'm almost looking forward to more because we haven't been talking a lot about presents. We've just been talking about time, as in when we'll be together, and that's kind of what I'm looking forward to most. Yeah,
man, it's been a struggle being recent empty nesters.
Yeah,
with 3 married kids, it is hard to figure out when you all can get together. So we're literally having one day, and it's the day after Christmas, 26th, in case you weren't sure.
Mm-hmm.
And Timothy and Lauren are driving up from Valdosta, Georgia. So they're not even going to be here till the afternoon.
Yeah.
So really we have like a half a day with everybody, because Joshua and Emily and Nathan and Taylor, they'll drive in that morning or mid-morning. And then Timothy will get there. So then we'll give our gifts then, I suppose. And
that's because you're all a bunch of church employees. So you gotta be in your locality for the day.
I'm talking about the day after Christmas.
I know, but I'm just thinking you won't get to see them Christmas Day because you're all going to be working.
Well,
in a happy sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you know the next time Christmas happens on a Sunday?
I would say 6 years from now.
If you've been watching our services, because I know you do, because you like to watch me sing, you've heard Ernie mention it like for the last 3 weeks in a row.
Oh gosh.
Because of the odyssey of the years, 11 years until the next time.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know if it's a leap year thing or what it is, but he's already figured it out, looked it up. It's 11 years from this year. So was it 2033 when the next Christmas will be on Sunday?
So I'll be 64. You'll be 70.
No.
You'll be 66?
I'll be closer to 70 than you. Yeah, 66. I might be retired. You never know.
Yeah. You realize this doesn't make Ernie particularly smart. It just means he knows how to use Google.
He likes to look up things that people might not look up.
Right.
And it makes him feel like he's smart. But when he says it 2 or 3 weeks in a row, it loses a little effectiveness.
Yeah. You know, I'm using these Jabra Elites in-ear headphones, which I absolutely love when I'm working out. So I wear them like an hour and a half at a time, and they're just fine. But when I'm just sitting here talking to you wearing them, it's like I notice them.
Yeah.
But when I'm working out, I don't notice them.
Speaking of, before you get to your blood drawing, speaking of your hearing pods, whatever they are, did I tell you about the ringing in my ears? I told you about this, right? Because you got your ears checked too. I had ringing in my ears.
I'm sorry, I just can't get past your hearing pods. Okay, so you have tinnitus.
When you have a thought of something and your brain flips the switch over, you have to say something different, but it's got to make sense together.
So you have tinnitus or something like that, whatever it's called?
She didn't flat out say it at the end, but she talked about that. But she said that basically when you hear buzzing, which is what I'm hearing, she goes, it's basically your brain not comprehending what you're hearing, so it substitutes a noise.
What?
She said your brain is actually creating that noise because you're not hearing enough to give their own noise. You can look it up. But anyway, I only have minor hearing loss over here, nothing near a hearing aid, and this one's fine. So, but I just wanted to get it checked.
So what do you do about that? Brain surgery?
She goes, nothing. There's nothing you can do. She goes, it's just you notice it more in the silence when it's real quiet. So she said you can put in earbuds, you can listen to music or do something, but I don't notice it right now.
Yeah, okay, David. I hate to tell you this.
Uh-oh.
But you are picking up the reception of alien spaceships. And your brain is especially tuned to their frequencies. If you focus your mind, you'll be able to find out when they're attacking Earth.
You know, I asked her that, and her eyelids fluttered, and then when she came back, she said, no, that's not what it is.
Did she put a little wand in front of you and push a white button?
Would I remember if she did?
No. Okay, so anyway.
Yes.
I can't wait to tell you the worst present I ever gave. But the other day, I've been sick. Well, I've been sick for like 2 weeks, right? I was sick for a week.
Narrating. I love it when you narrate your grammar. That's great.
Yeah. So I was sick for a week, and the last half of that week, I was like, okay, I'm going to get up and do stuff because I was tired of just sitting in my game room.
Right.
But I had a viral infection. It wasn't COVID. It wasn't the flu. It's the Russian COVID, because Russia has given a virus to the Ukraine, and now the virus is spreading through the world, and it's called the Russia virus. And I'm totally making that up.
So are we in conspiracy theories right now? Nice.
Yes.
I love
that.
A
lot of people around here are getting viruses that they don't know what they are.
Oh, here too, like crazy. We're getting a lot of people.
So I don't know if like something's, maybe it's another not COVID, but some other new strain of something.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so I ended up getting even worse sick this past week, like last, 7 days ago. I literally spent 4, maybe 5 days doing nothing in my game room. I mean, playing games and binge watching stuff.
You don't do nothing in your game room. You are busy in your game room.
But so anyway, so I went to the doctor last Monday or Tuesday. So I go to the doctor, and since I had already been the week before, they decided to do a blood draw to make sure I didn't have any bacteria infection or something. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy comes in. He looks, like he's 22, which there's nothing wrong with being 22, except you don't have many years of experience drawing blood.
Correct.
Okay. So you know how the bed/table in a doctor's office exam room is like flat, and it's like this plastic stuff, but the other half will like raise, so it can like a bed. It'll raise, you can sit on it, or it'll go flat.
Exam room, right?
Yeah, an exam room table. So this one was like the bottom part was flat, and the other half was like 12, 15, 20 degrees at an angle. Okay. So
are you getting blood drawn?
This is just where I'm sitting.
Okay.
Yeah, he didn't bother to take me to the blood drawing table. right in the other part of the.
It's a chair, right?
Yeah. Instead, I'm just sitting on the exam table, and the table to the left of me is slanted.
Oh.
So this incredibly astute, what's it called?
Physician's assistant?
Phlebotomist or whatever they're called.
Phlebotomist, yeah.
Yeah. He goes and he brings in his stuff. So he's got his little tubes and all his stuff, and he sets it on the table. Now, what did I already tell you about the table?
It's slanted.
Yes. So guess what happens?
Ew.
Yeah, the first glass tube falls off and lands on the ground. Right? And he goes, "Oh, I guess I can't use that one." Right? Oh,
I'm done right there. I'm walking out of the room right there.
So, and I forgot to tell you, you know how when you go to an exam room, after the person before you came, they ripped off the white paper and put new sterilized paper down, right? There ain't no paper on this thing. It's just like a 1970s car seat, just sitting there unsanitized, and he's putting all this stuff to draw my blood on this 1970s car seat exam table at an angle so the thing falls off. He's like, "Oh, I guess I can't use that one," and he goes and throws it away. So meanwhile, I'm sitting there literally thinking to myself, I am not looking forward to this. Right? So he goes and gets another vial, sets it on the exam table.
The same table?
Yes. Same place. And it rolled off.
You're kidding. Oh, my goodness.
So, it rolls off. And he said, no joke, "Well, I guess this isn't my day." And I'm like, oh, crap.
My thought is, this isn't your job either, because you're not doing it very well.
Are you sure you've done this before? Anyway, so and everything on the table is like having trouble staying where it is, because it's at that angle. So he's having trouble keeping things to stay where they go. So then he finally gets ready, and he does the alcohol and everything like that. Puts the little rubber thing on the thing, and on the bicep. And remarkably, David, painless.
Yeah.
He did a fabulous job, except for the fact that it took him probably a minute and a half to draw one vial of blood.
Because of the slowness of your blood, or just?
I think that maybe I was dehydrated, but also I don't think he had this tight enough.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I was watching it. And after a while, your brain starts going, there's a long needle in my vein.
Yes. I have a question.
Yes.
Did he not take that strap off after he got the needle in? That's what they're supposed to do.
No, he didn't. You're right.
That's kind of what releases the flow of your blood down your arm.
Dude, I didn't even think about that. No, it's just sitting there. And then,
you're going, my bicep looks really good right now. Oh, that's where all the blood is.
So that's not the worst blood draw experience I've ever had, but that was stressful. I wasn't really stressed. I was just like, oh man, this is going to be bad, And it ended up not being bad, but you can tell he hasn't done it a whole lot.
So this is probably why we haven't been podcasting, because I've also been going to the doctor a few times over the last couple of months.
Have you?
I've been getting some more intense blood work for some different things I got to get checked out. In fact, I have a stress test coming up after Christmas.
Oh, those are fun.
Followed by an MRI.
Yeah, like immediately following.
The day after.
Oh, the day after.
The day after, Saturday morning.
I've been to a stress test where I do the stress test and then they immediately put me in a machine.
Well, the guy that was doing your job before I'm now doing your job went to do a stress test and then went to the hospital.
Really?
For not good reasons. So I went to see an endocrinologist, and she's doing some level test on me, looking at some other things, and She says, yeah, because you got sleep apnea, because I'm obese, I'm overweight, I'm close to the diabetic level with my sugar. I'm still under it, but I'm close. She goes, let's go ahead and do another stress test, and then we'll do if your blood levels come back to something else, then we'll do an MRI on you. And I said, another stress test. She goes, you've never had a stress test? I said, no. She goes,
Wow.
you're 55, you're obese, you have sleep apnea, and you've never had a stress test. I said, I feel like I'm having one right now, but otherwise, no, ma'am,
Yeah.
I've not. So that's Friday after Christmas, and then the MRI is Monday because my blood levels, one particular level came back. It's amazing. I'm still the healthiest fat guy, my doctor knows, because all my blood levels are good except for one. And for that one, I got to get an MRI, which is fine because I want to know two. But when I was getting blood drawn for all these tests, because she's internal medicine, so her blood test was a list. My primary care, he has the default blood work. Hers was a unique list. So I go to get blood, and where I go to get blood, it's always a young person, but it's not that young, not 22 young. They're like in their 30s, but they're getting into the medical field. And I always ask them, what's your next step? And they're always like, oh, I want to get into this. I want to be a PA. I'm working towards that. Nicest people in the world. So this nice lady, she prints out like a receipt ticket of what I'm getting tested for, lays it on the table because she needs both hands to start pulling vials from the shelves, different color vials for different color tests. And I'm like, that's a lot of vials. I don't know if I have 8 vials worth of blood in me. She goes, well, that's what you're getting checked for, honey.
8 vials.
8 vials of blood.
No exaggeration.
No exaggeration. At least 8. And let me tell you this. I filled them in probably less than 30 seconds. She did it those needles are so small now. Like you said, it's practically painless. And she did it so fast, so well. It was done before I could even realize she was on the third one. She already had all 8 of them full.
Wow.
But it's funny because when I started working at the hospital I'm at, I had to go get blood work done. And there was a young military person doing blood work. And I jokingly said, because he looked kind of nervous, I said, hey, don't worry, man. No one's ever missed on the first try taking blood. So 6 pokes in my arm later,
oh man,
a nurse comes over because he's sweating more than I am. She says, I got this, honey. Moved him over. And I said, that's funny because nobody's ever missed my veins before.
Yeah, I got some big old veins.
Yeah, I do too. And she's like, well, I think it's his first day and I think it's his last day. So I said, okay, that's the one guy I got. Well, that's probably not
sad.
But he'll find something else to do. It's the military. I'm sure they'll find something else.
But he would have made it past, all the fake blood draws, and then they do blood draws on each other for practice. So he must have just had a bad day.
I've never had a vein missed. In fact, people compliment me on my veins, and this kid missed me like 6 times.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm like, you're going to hit it sooner or later, but I wish you'd stop whatever you're doing.
I was in the hospital once because I was having heart attack symptoms, and they drove me via ambulance to Huntsville. And so I was there about 2:00 in the morning, and they put this IV in my arm, and I've never had such a painful IV in my life. So, like, it's already in and everything, and I'm crying because it hurts so badly in there. It feels like there's alcohol inside my vein. And I'm just like, you have got to take this out. You have got to take this out. And they were like, well, I don't know why it's hurting. I don't know why it's hurting either, but you got to take it out. They took it out, and I was so dehydrated, they couldn't find any veins or anything. So maybe it wasn't even in a vein. I don't know.
Oh,
but they ended up calling this lady she was probably in her 60s.
Yeah.
And she didn't even do this anymore. She only worked like overnight, 1 or 2 nights a week. And she was over in the pediatrics area.
Yeah.
They called her over, and she did the sonogram on my shoulder. And she did an IV in my shoulder. Best IV I've ever had in my life. I mean, because you can move your arm around, you know, it's not on your hand, which hurts. It's not in your arm where you're afraid to move it. You know, best one I've ever had.
So when I had my carpal tunnel surgery, I did it on both wrists at the same time. So I couldn't get an IV in either arm, obviously. They had to put it in my foot.
Why didn't they do your shoulder?
Because I was getting surgery worked on, and they couldn't do anything in my arms.
Oh
so
my gosh.
they had to put it in my foot. And the lady asked me when she came in, she goes, "Have you had one in your foot before?" I said, "No." She goes, "Oh, well, you're not going to like it." She goes, "But you'll feel less of the pain later." I said, "You're kidding."
Was it bad?
It wasn't bad going in, but it was bad once it was there,
Oh,
and
yeah.
it wasn't. They didn't miss anything. They didn't do anything wrong. It was just, I guess, because the skin's so tight. There's no flab down there. Oh my gosh, it hurt. It mainly just hurt being there, but otherwise it was fine.
Yeah.
This is sad. Keep going.
If you or anyone listening wants to see me experience one of the most painful shots in my entire life, my son Timothy graciously recorded it.
Oh my.
I was in the ER and I had ripped my hand open and they were giving the whatever shot they do to deaden it. So you can go to YouTube. I'm not pushing my YouTube page. I'm not making any money off of this or anything. Dwaine Stroud, DWAINE STROUD, and look up painful shot. And it's probably the second most viewed video on my YouTube channel. I'm not kidding you. That video gets seen all the time. So I think it's called Dad Gets a Painful Shot or something. It's about 6 or 7, 8 minutes long. But
how far is the shot into? Well, I think you just got it. Did you have to get it in the opening of the cut?
Oh my gosh, it was the most painful thing I've ever. Yeah, it was terrible.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's the video.
Oh my God. I know it's terrible. My gosh, there's blood coming out and everything, and you're going, yeah, that hurts. Please don't do another one.
Is that what I said?
Oh my gosh, she's like putting it right inside the cut. And she's laughing. No, she's not laughing.
Did I just scream?
Oh my gosh, I gotta stop. Instead, you went, oh my gosh, you're not doing another one, are you? Oh!
It was
I don't think I've ever seen that.
It was terrible.
6 years ago. Oh my! Well, that's quite a cut, but it's in a very sensitive place on your hand too.
Yeah, they were concerned that it might have gotten down to a nerve.
Oh yeah,
but it didn't. So,
but I'm sure you probably didn't feel anything in that hand for a while. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's the bad thing about when you get injured. They've got to start near the injury and work out from there.
Yeah.
Oh
all
my
right.
goodness.
Well,
that's hilarious.
We've been recording for a while, so let me tell you real quick. The worst present I ever did. It was Connie's and my first Christmas together.
Mm-hmm.
Do you already know this story? You probably do. You just don't remember it.
I don't remember it.
Yeah. It's our first Christmas together. Good answer. And by the way, do you do this with your beard?
No, because I don't have as much. My hair is not as long as the hair you've grown. I might do it sometimes, but when it's this short, I just trimmed it. So no, I don't do it when it's this short.
Anyway, so I had told her, I had mentioned a couple months before that how cool it would be to have a Nintendo 64 system.
Mm-hmm.
Right? This is 1991. Man, it'd be awesome to have a Nintendo 64 system or whatever. I wasn't even talking Christmas. So Christmas morning, I wake up and she had bought a Nintendo 64 from somebody with like 15 or 20 games.
Wow. For
like this incredible deal.
15. That's a lot of games too.
So we're talking a very thoughtful gift. Something
she remembered you saying, and she went and found it. And not only did she find it, she gave you so many games. You were going to be busy for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to be so glad you got her the gift that you did because of that thought she put into your gift.
Well, I'm glad I gave her the gift I did I'm glad she gave me the gift she gave me because of the gift I gave her, I didn't see her for a couple of weeks.
Hopefully it was a trip to Hawaii, but go ahead.
No, it was more like I was abandoned. So I thought, a couple days before Christmas, I need to get Connie a Christmas present.
Mm-hmm. A couple days before Christmas. Yes, that is the time you realize.
I never took the time to think about what she might like. I probably kept asking her what she wanted. Connie will not say what she wants for Christmas. She will not. I have to listen and take notes in my phone.
Sounds like such a husband thing.
Yeah. So anyway, so I gave her a little bag, a little bag that you put like makeup in with a makeup brush and some other things like fingernail clippers and files.
So you gave her a utility bag for the bathroom.
Yes, and that's all I gave her.
And you're still married. Oh, that's amazing.
She wasn't like, she was, I think because Connie wouldn't get upset if you gave her something that she didn't like. But she was like not angry, but she was so hurt by it because she had put such thought in her gift to me. And I put literally no thought in my gift to her. It would be like buying your wife an iron and an ironing board.
Wow.
So
I've had one of those where I actually put thought into it because and I know I've told you this. It was either our first or second Christmas. Terry had just met Richard Petty, the race car driver.
Yeah, you told me this. Yeah.
And I bought her the plastic car version of the car he drives. But that's not as bad as about 5-6 years ago when Amazon was cooking and rolling. I gave her about 3 or 4 things, and she said, "Did you just go to the Amazon What's Hot for Christmas this year list?" But they were neat things. It was like a back scratcher. It was like a shower massager. I said, maybe.
Yeah, it's just those things aren't personal, right?
No, they're not. Right.
And Connie and Terry have to have personal gifts.
That's why the counter now has my equipment on it, my cooking equipment. And I'm going to move all that somewhere else because she loves old school stuff. And to her, a toaster oven is an old school thing.
Oh, wow.
We also have an air fryer, which we love.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And I found this toaster oven, which is also an air fryer, on sale for like half price with like 4.5 out of 5 stars. And it's awesome. And it's a 4-slice toaster oven. So you can lay 4 slices in it. It's like awesome. And I'm so excited to give it to her. And it's going right on the counter where all my stuff is. So she can have it. It's all right beside the bread box.
That's awesome.
I'm hope so. It's not red, which is her favorite, but it's going to match the other stuff in the kitchen.
Yeah. I got Connie a painting. We went to an art show in Decatur, Alabama, I guess 2 or 3 months ago, probably 3 months ago. And we looked at so much art. And there was one that she said, "Wow, I really like that."
Mm-hmm.
So I abandoned her and went to the lady and I said, "I need to buy that. Can you ship it to me?" And everything like that. So it's sitting in the house ready to be wrapped.
Nice.
She's going to get that. And then yesterday or the day before, she mentioned that she doesn't have a big enough tote for all the stuff she takes to school.
Oh.
So I went and got her a really nice tote, which I know doesn't sound like a big deal, but she'll like it.
But
of course, my thought is, if she fills that thing up, I don't see how she's going to be able to lift it. To be honest with you,
it's not on wheels.
Huge.
It's not a wagon on wheels.
No. Although she'd probably fill that up.
Yeah, but then you got to get it out of the car. So
yeah, and then I got her those socks. So hopefully, I'm getting a soundbar, God of War Ragnarok. I got like $500-600 worth of stuff that I told her.
So guess what? I need to get
what?
A new surround sound system.
You still have that one.
I still have yours.
You.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
I still have that. And the last 3 TVs I've had, I bought secondhand from a buddy of mine who's a TV fanatic. So I know they're really good. They're just like 3 or 4 years old, maybe 4 or 5 years old. So I don't buy new TVs. I just buy what he gets rid of because he don't want to put it somewhere else. It's too big. So I just buy it from him. And yeah, I get your sound system and it works great. It just now every once in a while it'll just reboot. Just do it.
Well, yeah. I guess so. It's like 20 years old. Literally 20 years old.
Almost probably older than that. But it's still good. Still good.
I don't even have a surround sound system anymore.
Well, that's
we don't even have a sound bar in the living room.
You don't have speakers in the living room? I thought you had speakers up.
It's off of the TV. There is absolutely no high fidelity in our living room. None.
Is that what you're going to have for the sound bar? You're just going to try that?
No. We won't do that in the living room.
Oh, okay.
Because I've told her that room is for her. She can have it decorated the way she wants, and a sound bar and speakers just get in the way. Now, granted, I have the top-rated OLED TV from 2021 in there that just is basically a picture frame on the wall. Mm-hmm. So it looks awesome, but it's not. Seen it. Yeah, and so we've watched, movies in there. But when I want to play games and stuff, even though they look better on that TV, I play them in my game room because it sounds better. And all I have right now is a sound bar and a subwoofer. I don't even have surround sound. But I do have surround sound headphones, the Sony headphones. So sometimes I go in the living room and play there. But it's not as comfortable because I got to stand to be close enough to really be able to see stuff.
Yeah, if I'm watching something that she doesn't care about, I might turn the surround sound off and just turn the TV volume up, like a cooking show or something like that. But when it comes to movies, if we don't have surround sound, it's going to make a big difference.
I know it does, but it's a sacrifice that I'm certainly willing to make.
Yeah. Oh, I won't buy a new system. It would definitely be. In fact, my TV buddy is looking on used systems right now.
Yeah.
Give me a decent deal.
Well, you can get these sound bars now, like the Dolby Atmos, ATMOS, that it's literally just one bar that gives you full surround sound.
Is it under the TV or something, or where does it sit?
It sits underneath the TV, like on the, They're expensive, though.
And that's what I've heard of that.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Dolby. But even then I'd have a sound bar on the mantle, and I don't want to do that because I don't want her to have to decorate around a sound bar.
True. That's true.
Plus, I don't have any wires coming out from behind my TV. So
it's only about $2,000.
Well, now that's the one you're looking at. Okay.
My goodness.
There's lesser ones than that.
Yeah.
Less expensive ones than that.
There's $400 for one, and it looks like a subwoofer. It's not bad.
Well, all right, man.
Yep, I need to go cook anyway because Davis is about to come home from Taekwondo and be ready to eat. Me too.
All right, man. Hey, everybody, thanks for listening. That's all I got. Oh, wait, we don't exit like that anymore, do we?
Nope, but Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, buddy. Bye.
Yep. Bye.